Okay, happy Friday. I'm looking at the module 4, lesson 34, exit ticket. You have already completed this and you are now editing it. So if you have not completed it, I should see pencil all throughout the page. And then by the time we're done here with the video, there should be some pen markings on there to indicate whether you got something correct or whether you needed to fix something. So let's focus my camera up here a little bit. There we go. So the starting one says use a number line and an inequality to illustrate each situation. Reminder that anytime you have an inequality, it's this less than symbol, a greater than symbol, a less than or equal to symbol, or a greater than or equal to symbol. So it says Horatio has at least $10 in the bank. At least means that's the smallest. He doesn't have anything smaller than that. That's the smallest one. So if I have a number line to illustrate what he has in the bank at $10, I know this is the smallest, but he can have it. But if it's the smallest, that would mean he's not going to have anything to the left of it. All of his values, all of the possible values, God bless me, all of the values would be to the right of that number. So going on past forever and ever and ever, he could have 100, he could have $20, he could have anything above 10, but it has to be at least 10. So what inequality represents this? Well, H, Horatio's money, has to be greater than what number? It's greater than 10, but it also includes 10. It says at the least, which means it could be 10. So there's my inequality. There's my number line. Let's move on to the next one. It says Maria has fewer than 30 weeks left of school. Fewer, obviously, is another word for less. That doesn't mean she has 30 weeks. This means she has less than 30 weeks. So if I start to illustrate this with a number line, or maybe I'll try my inequality first, it means Maria has, I might use W instead. I'll stick with M though. This has to be less than 30. That's exactly what that means. So that means it doesn't include 30, so I leave my circle open. But if it's less than 30, it must be any number that's below 30, which would mean we're thinking to the left. So that's my number line that I should have right there, all the way from 30 to the left. All right, let's go ahead and look to part 2. All right, on part 2 it says, to keep his job, Travis must sell at least $1,200 worth of computers in the next 4 weeks. To keep his job, that's redundant. We can get rid of that part of the sentence. Write an inequality, represent all the numbers of the possible numbers of sales per week he can make, and include a number line to illustrate the answer. So let's think about it. He's got 4 weeks to get this done, right? 4 weeks to get $1,200 worth of computers sold. Well, if I think of this as 12, there would be 3 in each one, right? But it's not, it's 1,200, so that means he needs to sell at least, remember we're using the words at least here, needs at least 300 per week. So what does that mean? We're talking about Travis, so Travis must have at least 300 per week. That means he could have 300, so we know it's going to be at least equal to 300 a week, but it has to be at least that much. So that means on a number line, if I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, right? 100, 200, 300, and so on. At the very least, he's got to sell 300 each week. So that means it could also be anything above that, and he's going to make his goal, right? If I do 400 each time, if he sells 400 in a week, not 4,000, that's going to work out for him because then he'll have 1,600, and that's going to help him keep his job. So anything, T has to be anything greater than or equal to 300. That means we're going to shade to the right. All right, so what you need to do now, go to your reflection. You need to decide what score did you get for this exit ticket in your opinion. Explain why you got that. Make sure you have 1 complex sentence or 2 simple ones. And then, of course, you can follow the rest of the directions from there.